had to be Niskaru. I hate Niskaru.
I've been a lot of things in my life. A hero and a heartbreaker. A fate weaver and a failure. All at the cruel hands of fate. Until you came along, I never had a choice in what I was. Thank you for that. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. First she works with us, then she betrays us, then she saves your life. I admit I don't know what to make of that woman, but I feel like we owe her. Not that I'd know how to find her, or pay her back for that matter. I've heard legends about it, but supposedly it's a deep cave beneath Bale. Either for the Winter King's meditation, or where they emerge after they die. Last I saw him, Sidon was mourning at the House of Sorrows. I can't imagine what his people are going through. If you see him, give him my regards. The Winter Fae were a decent people. They didn't deserve what Gadflow did to them. Everyone thinks the immortal Fae are enigmas. But they've got it all wrong. The Fae are simple. Far simpler than mortals. They never change. Even when their bodies die, they reform again, often years later. Whatever you did to him, Gadflow is truly dead and gone. Sidon says he won't be reborn, although I don't know how he can be so sure. You know where you stand with a gnome. They're always so focused on their work or research or what have you, that they've got no time for lies. Shame, they try to stay out of fights. Much as we could use their help in the war, staying neutral is about the only way they can stay safe.
Chaos is not my expertise, I'm afraid. From what Skald has told me, the Chaos Hearts power the portals, allowing them to remain open.
If they are torn from their nodes, the portals will collapse and the breach to the Chaos Realm will be sealed.
Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save. And I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving, either. Beautiful city, isn't it? You can see why they don't like letting most mortals in. Even the best of us make it look like a mess by comparison.
We will have to face Telogris eventually. It must be with a clear head. The boy Wolf, he is already gone.
You know the Summer Court and Issa? Well, the Winter Court are their darker siblings. They're not evil, but they're definitely not nice. So the gnarled madman didn't make it out of Alabastra? I can't say I'm choked up over the loss. There are still plenty of Tuatha, but without Gadflow to give them the word of Tirnoch, they've gone mad. He once offered me an honorary knighthood after I slayed the Dream Eater of Amora. He was quite gracious when I turned him down. You've all but ended the war, and you've surely changed its destiny. Every mortal in the Feylands owes you thanks. Sure, there are still Tuatha left here and there, but they've got no leader, and they don't pose half the threat they used to. Ah, the warm and welcoming Fae of the Summer Court. They were the ones who welcomed man, Alpha, and Gnome into the Feylands. You'd hardly realize the Tuatha are the same sort of creature.
Skald. Where to start? I've known her since my early days as a Fate Weaver. We often find ourselves at opposite sides of a discussion. She doesn't like me very much, which is fine, because I don't like her very much either. But we must be civil for the sake of the quest.
strange crystal, Prismia. It's normally a shade of blue, but when you treat it and charge it with magic, it turns blood red. The Niskaru are hideous creatures of chaos and corruption. They hated the Arathi, but unlike them, the Niskaru still stalk our world. Thankfully, they've mostly been driven back from the Feylands, but you still find a few lurking deep underground.
We bumped into each other a few times in Gale Crossing, and he's good for a few drinks, especially if someone else is paying. It's good that Skald has an apprentice who tempers her own unique personality.
The Fey in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Gadflow was the one who started the damned war. Well, ever since you came back from Alabastra, I cannot read a place in the Weave for anyone. Whatever you did, it didn't just win the war. It's given us all a chance to make our own destinies.